I was a registered nurse working at a hospital in Denton, Texas, and spent a lot of time eating hospital food, drinking coffee, sedentary. Nurses, you think that it's hard work, but you spend a lot of time at the computer. So, you're not apt and physical like somebody that's doing construction or something like that. So the weight started coming on in nursing school, spent a lot of time studying. I went from 180 pounds to 200 pounds to, I'm 37 now, and I got to, at the age of 35, I was 265 pounds. We had to have blood work drawn for our insurance as part of our protocol for the yearly enrollment one year, and my triglycerides were through the roof, my total cholesterol was through the roof, my LDL, my low density cholesterol, was extremely high, my high density was low. They wanted to put me on cholesterol medication. I was 35, and I told them no way. Continued to eat junk and drink, basically living on hospital food and coffee, was my lifestyle. So I had 2 young girls, still have 2 young daughters. Anytime I tried playing with them, I started getting chest pains. The ironic thing is I was a cardiac cath lab nurse, so we took care of people with heart problems and heart attacks, and so when I approached one of our physicians about the chest pain, he looked at me and said, well, we need to get you on the table and get you checked out. The doc told me to come see him in the office, and we needed to get scheduled to check out the coronaries in the cath lab, and I opted not to do that, but I didn't make any changes either. So, I heard it, but like most people, a lot of times it just goes in one ear and out the other. So I just continued to live the same lifestyle. I did not get my blood work checked again. My weight continued to go up. My drive from Texas to Colorado, I stopped at Sonic, I stopped at Burger King, I stopped at, the typical places, Starbucks, and all the coffee and the burgers and stuff that I was used to eating. That was my food for the 14-hour drive up here. And very quickly, the diet was changed. When we got here, we were eating in the guest kitchen for the first week, and it's good, healthy, vegan food. And I noticed a huge difference in how I felt within a week. Just within a week, my energy level was higher. I was sleeping better. That was a week of no coffee for the first time in years, no meat, no dairy for the first time in years. So even my wife noticed a difference in how she felt, and she's a healthy person. My kids were eating like they'd never eaten before. We continued on with the diet. Obviously, it's hard to work in a lifestyle center if you're not going to be involved in what you're teaching. So we decided to make the choice of, delving into it. We had to immerse ourselves into what we were trying to teach people. And so it required some effort. You get inclined to certain tastes, but it's amazing how the body adapts. So tastes change very quickly. Within a month, there were no more cravings for coffee. Actually, the coffee cravings went way quicker than that. The coffee cravings were gone probably within, 2 weeks. They were gone. Headaches only lasted a couple days. The food was a little bit different. That took a little bit longer. My cravings for the cheeseburgers and the things that I was used to eating was gone probably within a month. Pretty soon I wasn't having chest pain anymore. I was able to run around the house and play tag with my kids and hide and seek, and they like to call it catch me, play catch me. So I was playing catch me with my kids, and I wasn't getting out of breath. I wasn't having the pains anymore. Climbing the mountains and able to do things that I hadn't done in years. And it didn't take long. It was just the natural course of process. I didn't notice that I was necessarily putting a lot of effort into things. It was just the natural event of diet change and just an overall change of lifestyle. So for me, the transition was actually very easy. I was still eating very good food, and actually was eating more food than I was previously. In the hospital, when you're working, you inhale your food as quick as you can and you eat what's available. Here, I was actually having time to sit down with my family and eat a huge breakfast, and then we would eat a huge lunch, and then I would skimp out on dinner, and it works. I was drawing blood work on our current inpatient guests at the time, so I drew some on myself and sent it off. A cholesterol panel, and the triglycerides hadn't just come down, but they were actually flawless. They were perfect. My low density cholesterol was not just down, but it was perfect. My HDL, my high density cholesterol, was elevated, and it was perfect. So it reflected very quick changes. 6 months isn't a long time to have, and I don't have the numbers. I wish I did. But it was a drastic change in blood work. It was very drastic. And as far as where I'm at now, I'm down about 60, 65 pounds, and the weight's still slowly coming off. We're blessed to be in an area where things are so accessible. And it doesn't require a gym membership to exercise. You can go for a walk. At Eden Valley, our exercise class, we use a chair. If you own a chair, you can exercise. So it involves a decision. When we read in the Bible about the story of Daniel, the Bible says Daniel purposed in himself. He purposed in his heart not to defile himself with the king's food. And so we're surrounded by an atmosphere of instant gratification and unhealthy food, and we're surrounded by it. It's at every corner, in every store. So, our rule of thumb is we stay to the outside of the store, around the edges. That's where the healthier stuff is. We stay away from the middle aisles where the unhealthier stuff is. We eat a lot of fresh vegetables, a lot of fresh produce, a lot of fruits. We make our own breads, and it tastes better. Things that we like to do as a family, we have a hill behind our house called Pancake. And my 5-year-old, she just turned 5, Sophia just turned 5, and Allie just turned 3, and they love to climb Pancake. They love the mountains, so we go up Pancake. We go up on some of the other hills and trails that are around here at Eden Valley, and we play in the backyard, we play in the house, we play in the snow. We go up into Rocky Mountain National Park and climb and hike and play up there, and they love it. And as far as how do the kids respond to the diet? They eat like horses. I mean, these two kids, you've never seen two little kids that eat more variety of fruits and vegetables than these kids do. It's a totally different life. We're happy, we're healthy, and getting healthier as we learn more and implement more. And my kids are loving it because they have their dad back.